Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nathan, and if you're new here, this is the show where I take an archetype, like Goofy, and I try to find every Drawfee character that matches the description and put them in one illustration, but have it make sense by the end of it. I don't know what it was about 2021, but for some reason the Drawfee gang were absolutely obsessed with Goofy. It was like all anybody would draw. So I knew this video was a long time coming, and it finally happened when the members of my Patreon voted it for this month's video. That's enough preamble. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the speed draw. I was challenged by longtime Patreon member Christopher to start out this process with a Goofy from memory, and I think I did a pretty good job, mainly because, you know, Goofy's a very recognizable character. I've seen him drawn a lot before, and I also grew up playing Kingdom Hearts. So the only thing I kind of couldn't remember were his clothes. I was like, doesn't he wear like a spiked harness or something? And he has a shield. I also decided I was going to add a Sora from memory, and this little scribbly abomination would make Julia proud. He's so, you know, you could tell I didn't care. It was just about the bit and not about the craftsmanship of the piece. Now, if you've watched any of my videos where I draw anything ever, I feel like most of the time a common phrase that I'll repeat a lot is, "Oh, I absolutely loved this. It was so much fun." This was not one of those videos. I absolutely detested this entire process. And I don't know why, because it's my own fault. Like, I get to choose what the Patreon members at the $15 tier vote for every month. So, you know, I was just like, oh, you know, this month you can vote for every Drawfee Pokemon or Goofy or superhero, you know. And they voted for Goofy, which was great, love that. And I genuinely thought that I was going to enjoy this process, but I did not. There was just something about like the rubber hose animation aesthetic that I really enjoy looking at, so I would assume, hey, I'm probably gonna enjoy drawing that too. Well, I was wrong. I did not enjoy drawing it. This was awful. And like, I'll explain what's happening in this piece. So there's a lot of variants on Goofy. And so, like, to put them all in the same place, there's like a very, very famous Goofy, which is like Goofy Zagreus, and we know that Goofy gave Zagreus a lap dance. And there's also this drawing of a Goofy Zagreus. I don't remember who drew this. I think it was Spencer, or maybe it was Karina. I don't remember. But yeah, I was like, okay, I'm going to draw them all in hell, because clearly, you know, that's where I want all these Goofies to belong, because I don't like drawing them. So I sent them to Super Hell, where all of these different variations of Goofy from different timelines have all, I guess, died, and they're trying to escape the underworld. You know, I thought it was just gonna be a light-hearted romp, but it was not. I have like all of these strange Goofies, and they're all battling each other, because that's sort of the plot of Hades, the video game. I think all of them are in sort of this fight to the death, or actually be more appropriate to say like a fight for life, like to get out of hell. I think maybe like only one of them can escape or something. I don't know the rules to whatever strange divine like competition they find themselves in. But yeah, I had like a classic Goofy that I wanted in the center of all of them, and a lot of the Goofies are violent. So there was like Joker Goofy, who, you know, he's probably gonna try to stab somebody. There was that AI Goofy with a gun that I wanted pointing at main Goofy. And then I wanted to have Zagreus Goofy. He's just looking for his parents, which was a Goofy from a timeline that, you know, had a fun little lap dance with Zagreus until pregnancy ensued. So he's just looking for his, you know, parents, which makes perfect sense, because that's what Zagreus was trying to do in the, you know, in the Hades video game. He's just looking for Persephone. So he doesn't actually want to necessarily escape the underworld, so he's in an alliance with classic, original, stereotypical Goofy, and they're both just trying to work together. The Goofy that I'm working on now is the one that Karina drew, doing that like really wide stance with his posterior in the air, and he's going to be battling Disco Goofy, who actually was another request by one of my patrons. And there's a lot of sexy Goofies that Karina's drawn, so I sort of interpreted all of those sexy variants as this one Goof. And now we're on to classic Goofy. Yeah, I wanted him in the center. It was really fun to compare his outfit to my drawing from memory. I thought it was so funny that he has this like vest moment going on. I completely forgot the vest, and he just has this big, expressive, scared face because I think he's paying attention to Goofy Drowned, who's coming up. That's based off that very famous Julia drawing of the Goofy floating in a fountain. I think he's like a zombie and he's coming up to, I don't know, eat Goofy's brain? That sounds like a fun time. Also, when I watched this, I had just seen the Barbie movie, which you can tell kind of influenced this oops, all Goofy's mentality and these variants. But I just really wanted to draw like sparkly pink girly kind of images, and so I had to force myself to draw Goofy in hell because I had already started. So, you know, there was some cognitive dissonance, but in the end, I made it work. Now I'm working on the Disco Goofy, and I think one thing that I was kind of going for also with this piece were those kind of like lookbooks, sort of like Where's Waldo, but Disney had their own version of that where you would try to look for Mickey Mouse or Minnie. And I remembered one as a kid that was about Goofy, and there would just be all of these splash pages with tons and tons of characters, and you had to spot where Goofy was on the page. So I was kind of going for that sort of claustrophobic feel. And another reason why I set it in hell was because of the strange eldritch horror Goofy that came from that No Control challenge. I think about that Goofy all the time. It's completely terrifying, but I just felt like it would be some sort of ancient arcane fiend, Hellion spawn that would be at the bottom of hell. So that's why he's included here. And yeah, I'll go ahead and say now before we get into the coloring that there's definitely going to be a lot of flashing, so flash warning. If you have any photosensitivity, I would definitely just be a little cautious going forward, especially when the coloring starts. And also, if you're red-green colorblind, this image is probably not accessible to you either because it's pretty much all red and greens. So yeah, sorry about that, but I was in hell and it was really difficult to do. And even though I wasn't in the best headspace when I was doing this illustration, I feel much better now. One, because I'm just post-Barbie and life is great. I love Greta Gerwig. I want to talk about that film. But also, I played such a fun game of D&D the other day that it really lifted my spirits. My players finally reached the point in their first campaign where they fought their first, like, really big boss, and the first arc of the story was completed, and there was just such an amazing energy at the table, and everyone had so much fun that also sort of gave me enough serotonin to sustain me through drawing a literal hellscape, which eagle-eyed viewers might notice is loosely based off of the Nightosphere backgrounds from Adventure Time. We are very quickly reaching the end of the process. I'm just finishing up the background. I really did like all of the fire and the motes of light in the air, and I end up going with this sort of like nebulous cosmic atmosphere for the sky. It's strange because it's like, in hell, is there a sky? Because like the underworld in Greek myth is literally under the earth. So I was debating on whether or not this is another dimension like the Nightosphere or what was going on, but ultimately I just wanted more space and perspective and implied distance, so I went with clouds. And then I made everyone green, and this is the finished image. I like the end results, but the process was not it, honey. If you would like to torture me by voting for what I do next month, follow me on Patreon, and for just $4 a month, you can have your name in the end credits. Please comment down below, who's your favorite Goofy? Do you want to go to Super Hell? Are you praying to the Eldritch Abomination every night? Also, feel free to like and subscribe, and without further ado, here are the end credits. Special thanks to Anna SB, Axilius the Great, Blurryface EXE, Blue Uwu, K Clark, Christopher, Crystal NM, Dabadoodoo, Dax Quinn, MOE, Fro, Game of Catan on IG, Grey Gay Mothman, Gay Jairus, Haru the Moo, J Johar, JD Boy 2000, Lucky Paradox, Melon, Mild Mothman, Native Runner, Orion Amastasia, Pinecone, Poopy Tom, Prance, Red Ward, Rin, Scorching Ray, Sable Bunny, Sir Camelot, Smalls the Sax Jammer, Shenanigans, Thumper Daytime, Tortilla Chip, Tony, Tarthalinor, Tuesdays Anyways, Tad the Turtle, Tundra Katie Bean, and Tuppence Pies. My name is Nathan. I upload a new video every weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye!